I Complain on r/metalcore from Attack for Peach's pick of the day. What a great song title. I was sent that personally from some record rep out there, and I was like, okay, hold up. I need to play this. And sure enough, it's full of explicit language, as you just heard, so I had to do my best to make a radio edit, and sure enough, I got it to work. I Complain and r/metalcore. It was so weird, like, it's still stuck in my head. I talked about this with Victor. There was a comment, Victor made a video of him at the farmer's market, right? It's just him hanging out there, posting, saying he's at the Idaho Falls Farmer's Market, which, by the way, happens every Saturday from 9 to 2 on Memorial Drive. Somebody started attacking him politically in the comments, which is always fun, right? Whenever there's a post about a certain subject and then there's just that person that's off topic in the comment section. Then another person replied to that guy, bringing me into the conversation, saying Peaches is a leftist because he uses Reddit. And I'm still confused as to how that logic works, or as to how that all works. I use Reddit because there's tons of news on there. There's tons of weird stuff to talk about on there. There's a community for literally everything, including people who are also conservative. So I have no idea. It just said, like, Peaches is a leftist because he uses Reddit. Maybe I should make that a t-shirt. Sell that, huh? Anyway, that's enough of me talking about that. If you would like to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. Now, was it yesterday that I talked about this with Maddie during the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem that supposedly, there was this rumor going around that Uno was going to be on the casino floors in Las Vegas. There would be Uno tables right there. Well, the official Uno social media page had to put out a statement saying, hey, Uno fans, a rumor has come to our attention that there will be Uno tables on the casino floor in Las Vegas. Sounds wild, huh? We hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the casino floor isn't ready for us yet. We've been told while they do have tight security, it's not robust enough for Uno at this time. This isn't a reverse card. Haha. While we get this sorted out, the Uno Social Club is rolling out to bars in Los Angeles, New York City, Chicago, Atlanta, and Austin this August. I would love to have an Uno Social Club. Why not have a KBEAR gathering, play Uno, see how many of our listeners get into fights? You know, how dare you get me with that wild +4? Yeah, Uno, not necessarily the game you want to play if you want to have friends. Same with Sorry. Same with, Monopoly, for sure. I remember back in the day playing Monopoly on the Xbox back in 25 years ago. I would play Monopoly on the Xbox with all the friends. We had like 8 people. And there would always be that one guy towards the end of the game who knew he was going to lose, that he would just sell all his property real cheap to one person for like $1 just so he could have that person beat another person. And it got wild. I suggest playing fun board games that don't ruin your friendship with people, you know. Anyway, got some stuff coming up here, I guess. What a great tease that was. I'll talk about some tours coming to the area in the next break. There's been a lot announced today here on Peach's Pit Party. All right, let's talk about tours coming to the area. There was quite a few that were posted earlier this morning, and I'm the guy that's in charge of the concert calendar. And I always tell people to go check it out because it has literally everything coming to Boise, Salt Lake City, even right here in southeast Idaho. You know, Volbeat, Halestorm, The Ghost Inside, they're going to be at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater this Saturday. Still have not gotten those tickets for our winners, but I am trying my absolute best. Pretty soon, I'm just going to be calling that guy left and right and be demanding the tickets. Give me my tickets that you promised me. Anyway, going to scroll down here because I think all the shows that did get announced earlier today were announced for months like October, November, even December. I do know one of them. I'm excited for this one to see these guys again. I actually plan on making it to that show. I got to scroll all the way down. There's so many shows on our concert calendar, always available to you at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. Oh, it's right in the middle. So I was already trying to plan to go to this show There was that show I talked about previously, Fit for a King, Make Them Suffer, Spite, and 156 Silence. They're going to be at the Union in Salt Lake November 8th. But now, that same night, Set It Off with Fame on Fire. Vanna and the Pretty Wild are going to be at the Complex, which is an awesome, awesome venue, also Saturday, November 8th. What else was there? I should have had these all saved instead of me just scrolling trying to find them on our concert calendar. Did it just reset? Okay, I think I remember the other one. It was Silverstein with Thursday. Going to be doing the whole 25 years tour over in Salt Lake City as well, but I think that's December 2nd. So I got to scroll all the way down to the bottom again. This is quite annoying. I wanted to talk about all of these. Silverstein Knitting Factory in Boise, not Salt Lake City. Boise, December 2nd, with Thursday and Free Throw. You can find both those shows and many others like it on our concert calendar, always available to you at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. I would have talked about the other shows, but for the metal fans, Cattle Decapitation. Yeah, Cattle Decapitation with a bunch of other groups. That's also on our concert calendar as well, because we do play Cattle Decapitation on KBEAR, especially on Jenk Show, Saturday nights, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Anyway, let's move things right along here with some Yellow Card. It's Better Days. I've talked about this type of thing on the show plenty of times. Cult followings when it comes to certain products, brands, companies, etc. Costco has cult followers because you always meet that one person who's obsessed with Costco. There's even content creators showing off the deals at Costco. There's cult followers for Dr. Pepper. There's nobody louder than a fan of Dr. Pepper when it comes to like their favorite soda. You never meet someone that says, "Hey, I love Sprite," or "Hey, I love Mug Root Beer," and say it's the best soda ever. They just like the soda and they move on. Dr. Pepper people, on the other hand, will always tell you Dr. Pepper is the best soda in their mind. Well, Disney, they've had cult followers for years. You know, there's Disney adults, people who are obsessed with all things Disney. I mean, to each their own, right? You can be obsessed with whatever you want. But now, if you're one of those single Disney freaks, fans, you're getting your own app to basically meet other Disney fanatics. It's called Single Riders. It's a proposed new dating app that aims to connect Disney devotees along with other theme park enthusiasts with one another. I'm all for people, seeing each other, especially if you're one of those that's just obsessed with Disneyland and you're like, I'm an outsider to my group. None of my friends like Disney. There you go. 100%. This is for you. Single Riders. Now, it should be coming out at some point soon. I think it said something about like beta tester soon. So there you go. Perfect. This Saturday, we are going to be at the Idaho Falls Farmers Market. By we, I mean Riverbend Media Group. I believe it's going to be Katie Lee from Z103, Justin Pierce from 105 The Hawk. They're going to be there from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. along Memorial Drive. The Idaho Falls Farmers Market it's back and bigger than ever. Over 170 local vendors offering fresh fruits, meats, baked goods, etc. Now, we're going to be collecting donations for the Haven Family Shelter. I've mentioned this a couple of times now. There's the full, complete list. If you click on the Farmers Market link within the KBEAR app, the Alt app, or the Cannonball 101 app, they're in need of things like laundry detergent, kids' cereal, boxed cereal for moms, toilet bowl cleaner. The full list, like I said, is available on the apps. Join us this Saturday, July 19th, 9 to 2 on Memorial Drive for the Idaho Falls Farmers Market. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game is tonight, and other than the usual wailing and gnashing of teeth about All-Star Game snubs, the story of baseball so far has been about home runs. Over the weekend, New York Yankee Aaron Judge became the fastest player in Major League history to reach 350 career homers in his 1,088th game in the majors. Mark McGwire had the previous record, hitting his 350th home run in his 1,280th game, and McGwire had some help from, Dr. Needle in the Butt. Another notable home run story is Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners, who hit 38 home runs before the All-Star break. The only player in history to hit more before the break was Barry Bonds, who hit 39 home runs in 2001, who also dabbled in the dark arts of steroids. And wouldn't you know it, Raley ended up winning the home run derby, becoming the first catcher in history to win the event. Not too shabby. Adam Sandler's long-awaited sequel, did I say sequel, Happy Gilmore 2 is debuting on Netflix July 25th, and this time around, the golf company Callaway is cashing in. Callaway is selling limited edition Happy Gilmore hockey stick putters for $500 and golf balls for $60 per dozen. EA College Football 26 is out, and one school is hoping to get their fans to play it a lot. Delaware is offering on-field tickets and merch worn by their coaches to a fan who wins the national title as the Blue Hens in the video game. The giveaway does come with an ulterior motive, as this year's schools can earn royalties based on how much fans play as the school in the game. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on KBEAR 101. I'm sure you're aware of the whole Firefest fiasco that happened years ago. Was it years ago? When did that whole thing happen? It feels like a super long time ago. Billy McFarland, the guy behind the whole Firefest thing that ended up turning into a Netflix documentary. And I was reading articles before about how he was potentially going to auction off Firefest itself. And now he apparently has. He's officially auctioned off the intellectual property, trademarks, and assets for Firefest on eBay for a sum of $245,300. The sale arrives after McFarland's purported seven-figure deal to sell Firefest apparently fell through earlier this month. In response, the Contrapreneur, con man / entrepreneur, announced that he'd be auctioning off the brand via eBay with the starting bid being 1 cent. So I wonder who ended up getting it, and I wonder what they plan on doing so with it. I would love to see if they try doing their own concert festival, something like that, ends up being a major success. Wouldn't that be awesome? I haven't seen that documentary. I've been, I don't want to say I've been meaning to watch it. I don't really care about watching it. Most documentaries I don't really care about watching, but I was looking at this article here talking about how he still owes more than $20 million in restitution to the original Fire Festival investors, as well as millions in back taxes. Good luck to him. We have said time and time again to make sure to know what you're reading online is fact or not. I just saw this whole article about how the White House was duped by this April Fool's Day tweet about In-N-Out Burger and their ingredient changes. Yeah, a fan of In-N-Out running what looks to be the actual In-N-Out Burger Twitter account, but it says there's a little thing on their username. Oh, it's In-N-Out Burger _. And if you read the bio, it says quality you can taste. Your typical level 5 employee, not affiliated with In-N-Out. This is a fan account posting accurate, up-to-date information. It's just a dumb fan account that somebody decided to make. But on Monday, the White House issued a press release touting the changes that food companies have made during President Donald Trump's Make America Healthy Again push. One of those changes, the White House said, was that In-N-Out transitioned to 100% beef tallow. The restaurant has not transitioned to beef tallow, which is rendered beef fat. The White House linked back to that April 1st tweet from a fan account for the restaurant, which was labeled an April Fool's Day prank. Again, you got to know what you're looking at online to see if it's credible or not. Yeah, I just looked at the account even more. There's a reply to that initial tweet saying, before this gets out of hand, April Fools. Come on. You can't be falling for this type of thing online. I used to work there. If they were to do some type of big change, it would have been posted by Lindsay Snyder, the founder. This whole thing, yeah. But overall, In-N-Out is still healthy. I think they did update. They did put out something saying here are the different changes that we did, and this was from the official In-N-Out Burger, In-N-Out company, In-N-Out Burger account. There it is, right there. Pickles, replace yellow 5 with turmeric. Yeah, they posted something. They didn't post anything about beef tallow. Come on. Do your, even though I hate that phrase, do your research, but you have to do your research on things like this. Wow, I thought this was incredibly cool. Back to the beginning, the all-day heavy metal festival this past July 5th that was capped off with the alleged last-ever performances by both Ozzy and Black Sabbath, raised more than $200 million for 3 charities, making it the highest-grossing charity concert of all time, according to Billboard, which has kept track of such events. 40,000 fans packed Villa Park Soccer Stadium in Sabbath's hometown of Birmingham, England, while a reported nearly 6 million watched online. While the final amount for each charity has yet to be announced, the money will be distributed equally to Birmingham Children's Hospital, Acorn Children's Hospital or Hospice, and Cure Parkinson's. Each charity also raised additional funds by raffling off memorabilia and tickets to the show. I'm shocked there was only 40,000 people allowed in there. I thought they would have gone for like maybe a much bigger venue, like the biggest venue. I think it's only because that's the only giant venue that Birmingham, England has. You know, they could have gone over to London and gone over to the O2 Arena, but they probably just wanted to stick in Birmingham. I don't know. But I just thought that was awesome. Billboard also states, while impossible to fact check so soon after the event, reports from Billboard and other media outlets have relied on figures provided by people affiliated with these concerts, blah, 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 blah. Live Aid raised over like $170 million back in 1985. Farm Aid, $80 million. Hope for Haiti telethon, $60 million. So more than $200 million, all thanks to Ozzy and all those bands that performed. Man, I so wish I was at that concert. I was lucky enough to see Ozzy back in 2017 as part of Ozfest. I forgot exactly what bands we sort of saw because we were so far back on that lawn. I barely even count it. I think we saw Ghost, Disturbed, Megadeth at the time, and I've talked about how terrible that venue is. That is the Glen Helen Amphitheater in San Bernardino, California. We didn't get out of there till like 4 a.m. because of the stacked parking. Plus, there's only one entrance in, one entrance out, and you got to think it's a packed venue that absolutely just sucks. And I think what ended up happening is that we would have been stuck there even longer, but one guy, thankfully, one dude with a whole lot of courage and a lifted truck ran over a fence of some kind. I think it was one of those like chain link fences. He just ran it over, caused a big hole in it, and then everyone just soon followed and got out of there. Shout out to this guy. To this day, I am still so thankful for that guy. Now, usually I save To Peach Their Own for the end of the podcast, but I ran out of time to do the whole pre-recording of the afternoon show and then get to Peach Their Own, only because I had to deal with a whole bunch of ticket drama with Live Nation trying to get tickets for our winners for Volbeat, Halestorm, and The Ghost Inside live at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater. So the reason why you're hearing this is because if you hear the next break that is the To Peach Their Own question from Live on Air, and then you hear a break from like the 5 p.m. hour on, after that mixed in with answers for To Peach Their Own, I didn't want you to be confused. Instead, I probably just confused you trying to explain it all. Let's just forget what I said and move on right here on Peach's Pit Party. Thanks for checking out the podcast. I'm not even saying this on the live show. This is podcast exclusive. Appreciate you checking this out. Please let your friends know about this quote-unquote awesome show. Well, I just went on to Ask Reddit, found the first question that I could ask for To Peach Their Own, only because I've been dealing with a whole bunch of ticket stuff for the Volbeat, Halestorm, and the Ghost Inside show. Got all of our winners for that concert this Saturday, transferred their tickets to them, and I'm very happy for those listeners that are now going to have a concert to go to this weekend. So today's To Peach Their Own question. I believe Victor talked about it this morning. What movie traumatized you as a kid? I know I've asked this before, but I want to hear more answers on it. What's that one movie that was just downright crazy, downright wild, downright weird, that you're like, what on earth did I just watch? And then you thought about it for years and years and you still remember it to this day. What movie traumatized you as a kid? If I don't get any answers right away, I'll just go through this Reddit thread and read off their answers, or even read off our answers on the KBEAR Facebook page. Hey, KBEAR, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How about you, sir?
I'm doing great. Now, what movie traumatized you as a kid?
That would be Poltergeist back in the day.
Well, what age did you watch that movie?
I was only 7 when I watched that, so totally scared. The clown under the bed, the tequila with the worm, and the TV got me. Can never watch it. Have never watched it again. It came on when I was 3 years, so I was about 10, and I had to go to my room and turn on a radio so I didn't have to hear it and try to ignore it. Still haven't watched it since then.
What traumatized me, now that I'm thinking about it, I was trying to think of some answer for me. Those Scooby-Doo movies from back in the day. It wasn't the movies. That for some reason, I forgot what the title of... what's the title of it? With Scooby-Doo and the gang, and they're being chased by aliens. After that movie, I think I had it on VHS. They had like a little bonus episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog for some reason, and they had the whole episode of the guy that goes, "Return the slab," and it freaked me out. I hid behind the couch in the family room. And
yeah, I'm still kind of terrified for under the bed.
yeah. I'll be terrified. If I watch Poltergeist now, I'll be terrified. I just watched, for some reason, I went down this thread while doing the show a couple days ago on Reddit, and there was this whole thing about the scariest scenes in certain horror movies. And of course, there was like The Ritual with that one god that looks all weird, like creature-like and everything. But then there was that movie It Follows with, there's a tall man in that movie where like she's in the home, she's afraid that somebody's following her. Her friends show up, and her one friend behind the door is like, "It's just me. It's just me by myself." They open the door. She's just standing there. But what was awesome about it, it wasn't even like necessarily a jump scare. It was just like a tall guy that popped up out of nowhere. They hired this actor who's 7'6" to stand behind the girl, and it was just it's a crazy, scary scene. And I'm now even afraid of tall people.
Yeah, well, I hear that you're tall. My husband's 6'9", so I'm over that.
I am too.
Right?
There we go.
So, no, it's all good. I'm not, and I'm only 5'4", so I can handle tall people. It's not even scary anymore.
What movie traumatized you as a kid?
So, I wouldn't say totally a movie, but more of a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to watch Forensic Files with my grandpa. And I would get so paranoid watching that. Like, I would love it, but I would get so paranoid that, like, I was just going to be walking down the street, and then something was going to happen to me because, like, someone was going to come get me or something like that. You know, it's like a true crime show where they, like, tell, like, true crime stories and show the forensic science behind it and how they figured out who did it, and it's actually really cool. It's one of my childhood shows that I loved, but it did also definitely traumatize me.
That's how I felt with 1,000 Ways to Die. I watched a few episodes of that, and I was thinking, I'm like, oh my God, all this stuff could happen to me, and I could end up on this show, and then I end up finding out that the whole thing is just fake, and it was just dumb scenarios that they came up with.
Wait, really? I didn't know that.
I think so. That's what Victor was telling me. 1,000 Ways to Die.
I love that show, man, too, as well. 1,000 Ways. I grew up on that as well, so it's like, I had no idea. Yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff that goes on in that show.
It says 1,000 Ways to Die is a docu-fiction series that combines elements of real-life deaths with dramatic storytelling and artistic license. So I'm thinking they just over-exaggerated a whole bunch of different things.
They probably did, I would imagine.
Yeah, I see right here from Quora 6 years ago, somebody asked, did the deaths in 1,000 Ways to Die really happen? And someone said, yes, it is fake, except for the parts that may actually have happened to someone at some time in some place. It still doesn't really provide a clear answer there. It just says, like, yeah, maybe like some of the deaths are real, but probably
they were
not.
just basically making up stuff. I mean, some stuff that could happen theoretically, but
it's basically
that's
like...
actually...
It's like they're based on a true story that you see before a movie, and the whole movie's just dramatized for the Hollywood effect.
I see. That makes more sense. Okay.
KBEAR, what's up?
Hey, so to answer your the traumatizing movie, it was the original Shining, 1977.
Just Jack.
I went to the theater.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Jack Nicholson. No, it's good. I went and seen it at the theater, and then I came out of the theater and it was foggy, and and I lived about 8 blocks away from the theater. I ran all the way home, and then I couldn't stand the music for the movie, so I never watched it again. And then I saw my 5-year-old daughter was looking at my Stephen King movie. She goes, "Oh, Dad, what's this one?" I'm like, "Oh, man, that's the scariest movie ever. I haven't watched it since I was 11. So we put it on. We watched it, and she looks at me at the end, and she goes, "Dad, that wasn't even scary."
Maybe if she was around back in the day, I feel like if I were to watch it, I would say the same thing. And I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, maybe if if I saw it in the theater and it was like brand spanking new and it was like the latest horror you could get, something like that. I feel like a lot of these movies now, 20 years from now, are going to be the same thing where it's like, that wasn't even scary. That was cheesy.
Yeah, well, it was the fog. The funny thing was, it just happened to be a foggy night when I came out, and I'm like, oh my God. And I could just hear the music. And it took a while. Every now, if you put it on now, kind of the music is worse than the actual movie now.
What's so bad about the music? Is it just bad songs that they chose?
It's just no. It's because it was how they scored the movie for the different scenes that were happening.
Okay,
and they scored it well.
Looking back on that thread on Reddit for what movie traumatized you when you were a child, had some great answers on the air here to peach their own. But I was looking at some of the replies on Reddit. The Wizard of Oz, the Flying Monkeys, gave this person nightmares for days afterwards. I wonder how crazy that movie was back when it first came out. When exactly did the original Wizard of Oz movie come out? Was it the 60s? No, it was before that even. It was 1939. Wow. What a classic movie. It still stands the test of time, really. Now, I've heard about this movie. I actually haven't seen it. I have seen it. I just didn't pay attention to it. The Brave Little Toaster. I remember it being on in a classroom on a rainy day, like years ago, back when I was in elementary school. And I don't think I think I must have started talking to some friends in the background or something like that. I don't know. But this person went on to say like 90% of Brave Little Toaster, almost every time the characters turned around, someone almost died. Lampy getting electrocuted, Blanky almost getting stolen by mice, the flower, Blanky telling Toaster, "I'm not scared," before his head goes under a deep mud puddle, that saw him worthless, and the kid almost getting crushed by the trash compactor thing. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That poor little shoe got put into the acid, and the villain getting back up after being run over with a road roller. Those scenes were my nightmares for a while. It's always the movies you would not expect, right? These are all kids' movies. The Never-Ending Story, the horse sinking into the mud, gave me teary, sleepless nights for weeks. Poltergeist, classic. The Fox and the Hound. Jaws, yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street gave me some good nightmares for a long time after watching that movie. Well, it's happened again. Those dreadful claw machines, they use their assortment of cheap plush toys to, entice kids. And then once those kids try to go inside, claw machine swallows them up, right? Well, no, I'm just kidding. The latest episode of this type of thing occurred at a community center in Ohio. And it's just like all the other previous episodes. A child sees a toy he wants and very innocently climbs in to get it. Security cameras at the Mason Community Center captured the moment. The curious little adventurer decided to take playtime to the next level, climbed into the prize machine. A nearby volunteer only noticed what was happening as the boy's legs disappeared into the machine. Emergency crews were called in. The claw machine had to be partially taken apart to free the little toy hunter, who was unharmed. He also left the machine with a stuffed animal, which he was proud to show off to his mom. It would have been even funnier if they just denied this kid any stuffed animal and just sent him home. He goes home crying. No, I'm glad they gave him at least something. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.